Hello and welcome to 2014 and my second annual New Year speech. I once knew a man who spent more than 12 months in a body cast following major spine surgery. He also used crutches for nearly 3 years and spent a lot of that time in a wheelchair. It was not the same man that the Queen knew. I know this because I have never met her. But that was in the past, and although this is a time for reflection, I am preparing for the future. I have researched briefly the last 12 months' news stories. Unfortunately, I can not find much in the way of good news. The world is still full of people killing each other, and when that is not enough, killing the planet too. So what has happened that is a bit more light-hearted? Well, there was the horse meat in burgers scandal. I have in the past made award-winning burgers and sausages, and believe me, if you knew half of what went into them, a touch of horse meat is the least of your concerns. These were high-quality handmade articles, so who knows what goes into mass-produced ones. Really, I don't get what all the fuss was about. Beef burgers may be made from cow, but it's hardly prize steak. It seems that the fuss died down pretty fast, perhaps when people started realising that all the chemicals we are forced to consume with processed foods are a far bigger concern. And if you think I am being flippant, research aspartame. That's A-S-P-A-R-T-A-M-E. Just one horrendous ingredient that is in nearly every sweetened food and drink. And a trace of horse meat is an issue? Come on. So some good news. There was the birth of a royal baby. Wow! This event, or anticipation of, led to some of the most amazingly sleep-worthy news reporting in history. So enough about that. But congratulations to everyone who celebrated a birth in their family in 2013. And well done, you mums. I was lucky enough to celebrate my 50th birthday in 2013. We had a wonderful party here at Kazzam Castle, and I would like to take this opportunity to say thank you to everyone who came along, sent their wishes or contributed in any way. I had a fabulous time and still cannot believe that I am that old. I have always been partial to a McVitie's digestive biscuit. Not that I have them very often, but they are nonetheless enjoyable when I do. However, of late I have gone off of them somewhat, though I could not put my finger on why. They just don't seem to taste as good anymore. So imagine my delight when I found out why. Apparently, McVitie's changed the recipe about 6 years ago. But due to complaints that they are too crumbly and are no good for dunking in your tea anymore, the company have decided to return to the less healthy original recipe. Joy. There have been some sad and some not so sad farewells in 2013. Maggie Thatcher, for instance. I know that my personal view of her does not sit well with some of yours, so I will only say that she was Prime Minister and a woman, which was and still is unusual in the UK. Either way, whatever your view, I think she was probably doing a better job than the current shambles. But I am open to discussion or persuasion otherwise. And we lost the author of The Rats. While this was probably not the best book ever written, to a young teenager cutting his teeth in the world of reading horror fiction, it was and will always remain a classic. Without James Herbert, I may never have become an avid reader. His novels were the first to grab me and make me feel like I had no choice but to read. Thank you, Mr. Herbert. I am forever in your debt. There was a very nice man who used to make us laugh on TV. On a couple of occasions he picked me up while I was hitchhiking to and from school on the days when I had a guitar lesson but nothing else of any interest, which was often in that last educational year of mine at Burford School. Richard Bryars no longer with us. How sad. And Mel Smith, so funny, particularly in that same last year of school. There were a couple of rubbers too, something to do with a train, I think. There are so many well-known and great people that have gone to the clearing. I could go on and on, but I will end by mentioning Nelson Mandela. He achieved so much while he was here. I have seen him slated on the internet, but I think he was the greatest leader of our time. I also noticed that some younger people had absolutely no idea who he was. How sad. I read just the other day that Britain's biggest lottery winners, Chris and Colin Weir, paid for an operation to enable 4-year-old Skye Swinton to walk. She has been disabled since birth and took her first unaided steps on Christmas Day. Amazing news. See, it's not all bad, is it? 2014 is going to be a fantastic year. I will not have it any other way. I have had a few years now of being truly happy, and I am not going to let it change. People have asked when we won the lottery. We didn't. We don't even feel the need to do it anymore, so we don't. This is not a financial happiness. We struggle to pay the bills sometimes, in fact most of the time if I'm honest, just like the rest of you. I am lucky enough to have a fantastic family, both immediate and extended, some amazing friends and a wonderful job, which I love. I also have some goals which will be achieved this year. The most scary one is that both myself and my lovely Mrs. Kazzam will be running in the London Marathon. This is a big ask, as we both need to lose a few pounds and get fit. It is not going to be easy. We are fundraising for Cornwall Hospice Care. Our joint target is £4,000, so if you would like to help out with this by sponsoring us, you can do so online. The links will appear below now. Any donations, no matter how small, would be very gratefully accepted. Thank you. Well, I have waffled on for long enough, I think. I would like to thank all of my customers and their children for providing me with the greatest occupation I could ever imagine. I hope that everyone out there has had a fabulous Christmas. Thank you for watching, and I wish you all a very happy, healthy and prosperous New Year.